Order your name. Monet, are you here?
I am indeed. Goodbye, everybody.
Good morning. Please show your face. So I'm handing the mic over to Mr. Onyema. He will do the introductions of who we are, Signal Alliance Consulting, and we will roll with that. Please enjoy the session. Thank you all so much once again for joining us. Onyema, you have the floor.
All right, thank you very much, Nancy. Appreciate. Okay, good morning, everyone. Nancy has already introduced me. I'm Onyema Njoku. I currently head or lead the customer and business application practice at Signal Alliance Consulting. So this morning, I will do, first of all, try to talk about who we are, do justice to who we are as a business. I will talk about our practices, our solution areas. I'll move further also to give a brief our technologies. I'll talk about our services that we deliver, the focus market that we are driving as a business, that we are looking at driving as a business. Also, our footprint within Africa and where we intend to be, from where we are currently. Also, I will also give a brief overview of the webinar we have this morning, to give us an idea what to expect and our objective as a business at the end of the day after delivering, this webinar. So who are we? We are Signal Alliance Consulting, a subsidiary of Signal Alliance Technology Holding. We are an enterprise technology consulting company with strength in delivering technology services, adoption workshops across all the sectors, both within the private and the public sector. As a business, we have 6 practices. We have modern works, we have cybersecurity, we have the customer business application, we have the cloud and data analytics practice, we have the network and infrastructure, service, and finally we have the managed and outsourced service, making it about 6 practices in Signal Alliance Consulting. And today, the idea for us also, we want to bring what we do to into play for you. And the practice that is leading today's conversation is our customer business application practice. And as a practice, we know that businesses today are looking at technologies they can use and transform their businesses. Nobody is looking at just investing on any kind of technology. So in customer business application, we build and implement centralized and comprehensive solutions that can help organizations manage their activities, their business processes end to end, ranging from sales, finance, inventory management, procurement, human resources, project management, and at the same time, deliver an excellent customer experience and for within our customer spaces. Also, we also make note to say that most of our engagement, we do that leveraging what we call the Signal Alliance Consulting way. And we have advanced specialization and competency around a small mid-size cloud solution and low-code application development as a practice. Then, what's our solution area and technologies? So most of our solution that we have is aligned towards the Microsoft technology. And we have 3 key solution areas. Number 1 is the digital and customer experience solution. The digital and customer experience solution is leveraging on some technology, within the Microsoft business, and we have the Dynamics 365 sales, Dynamics 365 for customer service, marketing, field service, and project service operation. From here, the second solution we have our enterprise business solution. Our enterprise business solution, is we are leveraging the Dynamics 365 finance, supply chain management, human resources, retail, and commerce, which is one of the new, modules that Microsoft has currently, and the Dynamics 365 Business Central. For our the third solution, we have our custom solutions. For our custom solutions, we are driving that leveraging on the SAC digital contact center solution. The SAC digital contact center solution is the solution we want to talk about today. Is leveraging on Microsoft technology also, to deliver customer experience. This where we have the power apps, the power automates, building business processes using any of this technology. Then what are our services? As a business, we make bold to say that part of our services include delivering dynamics migration assessment across customers who are especially on customers who are currently on premise, using the on-premise solution of the Microsoft Dynamics, either the AX or the CX. We have the business value assessment. We have also the BizApps partner offer that is leveraging on envisioning workshop and in a day workshop. These are also services that we render to our customers. We also have our customer ad campaigns also that we put out, for within our customer spaces. Implementation services is our bread and butter. That is what we do. That is, part of what that is our DNA. We have also our support, services, also our services. All these we deliver across the enterprise and the SMB space. That's the large customers within the large space and the corporate customers. What was our focus market? We have the financial service industry. That's where we have the banks, where we have the insurance company, PFAs, investment and loan companies, and other financial institutions. We have our MET, is our abbreviation for manufacturing, energy and telcos. That's telecom companies, infrastructure managers, energy companies, oil and gas, FMCG, manufacturing. And also our focus also is in the public sector, which is where we have the ministries, departments, and MDAs, and even the parastatals also. But aside from this also, we're also looking at, we are not saying that we can't play within other sectors, but what we are saying also that these are the key sectors where also we've made our footprint, we've gone in, we have presence of what we are doing there. Also, we're also looking at the other sectors where within the logistics industry, we have the warehouse management, space, and the other spaces that are not mentioned on this slides. As a business, we are present in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Ethiopia, and Zambia, and looking forward to also moving to UAE and other countries outside Africa. For the webinar we have today, we all know that today organizations are no more looking at just investing anyhow in any business. They are looking at investing in business that can help them drive customer acquisition and customer retention. And what we are looking at today is to, put to you a solution, a digital solution that can also help you as an organization, upgrade, the services that you give to your customers. Having that one-on-one touch, with your customers, and also helping you earn your customers for life. We're excited to introduce to you the Microsoft Digital Contact Center platform, an open, extensible, and collaborative contact center solution that is created to offer a seamless customer journey. And today, for us to explain or to go into deep dive into this contact center platform or solution, I have my co-speaker here from Microsoft, Monet, to talk us through on the Microsoft Digital Contact Center and how it can help us drive our business. Monet, you have the floor now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And hi, everybody. And thank you for this opportunity, first of all. I think it's a very exciting time that we live in, especially from a contact center perspective. And let me start off with just sharing my screen, and then we can continue, right? I think the first question is, do anybody know what this number is that I'm showing on the screen now? And what the relevance of this number? 96%. Anybody? So if you are wondering, why am I showing the number in the beginning, right? That in actual fact is the number of customers that will leave without warning due to poor customer service. I know that I am one of those 96% people. You know, if I don't receive proper customer service, I'll definitely leave for another, organization that would be able to assist me with the proper care. And that brings me into our new offering, the digital contact center perspective. As you guys can see on the slide, we'll see Microsoft has acquired Nuance. For those of people that's not well known with Nuance, Nuance is an organization that plays on the top 500 companies in the world, and they do things like voice biometrics. They've also got a platform called Nuance Mix, where you can go and build out customer journeys that will understand conversational and also contextualize that conversation that you're having with customers, right? And we are bringing Nuance into the dynamic stack, right? From a Power Platform perspective, there's also some great products and features that we have in there from a digital contact center perspective, as well as Teams, Power BI, as well as Azure on the platform. But I know what you're thinking is that why have Microsoft actually gone in and investing into this platform at the moment, right? So when we look at this picture, is that we've realized that we are fragmented in the market. We've got customers that sits with telephony that's on-premise, that's old, and they have to have people that maintain it. Separately, they need to have a voice center or voice solution, or voice contact center solution. And then also they keep on building this building blocks out in isolations and in silos. More and more do we see customers sit and have disparate systems that they have to recapture data. They've got the swivel chair where they've got to have multiple interfaces just to serve their customers. And what we have seen in the market and where we come in as Dynamics Contact Center is that we bring all of the puzzle pieces together. So we've got one unified platform, one unified interface, and we can serve the customer in the manner of choice, right? But Microsoft is not new to customer service platforms, right? We've had Dynamics customer service forever and a day, and we've been integrating into our other telephony partners, just enabling them. So what we've done is that we've opened up our stack to enable that integration into either our first-party voice or existing telephony platforms. And I'll take you through that in a moment. This is some of the metrics that you can expect from a digital contact center, or all-inclusive omnichannel digital contact center. You can look at 80% decrease in case backlogs just because of the way that the platform is structured. Handling time, a lot fewer agents needed to improve quality of the productivity, because we've got productivity built into the platform, and also 15% improve on call resolution, first-time call resolution. From a productivity and also automation perspective, when we look at the platform itself, right, it's one single platform, and this is what puts us separate from our competitors. When we look at the platform itself, is built on top of one Microsoft cloud. Then we leverage the capabilities that you see within Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, the Power Platform, Azure, and lastly, things like, enriching our capability with identity, security management, and compliance. Long passes the days where we look at our competitors and how they try to solve their solutions using different clouds, different applications, and just trying to make their own sticky tape and bubblegum work. Now, those type of solutions, normally what happens is, because they're so fragmented, it's very difficult for them to keep that integration alive, to make sure that all the applications are talking to each other, and you're reliant on these different types of integration platforms, right? So if we look at the digital contact center, on our left-hand side, we've got all our different channels of engagement. You can also bring in your own channel. So the platform is an open, extensible platform that provides you with different channels that you can utilize. And these channels are not exclusive. So you could start having a conversation on the one channel. Maybe I send out an email and I don't get a proper response, or I don't get a response I want. And then I can also go on a different chat channel and just continue that conversation. And the agent would be able to pick that up, that you are working on multiple channels, right? From a unified routing perspective, that is where we use our AI engines as well as defined rules that you could specify on making sure that the correct agent at the correct time with the right knowledge would be able to serve your customer correctly. From a case management perspective, right, that is our all-in-one case management platform where, make sure that you capture all the relevant information for assisting the customer, driving down that time that they have to spend on the different channels of note, right? From a knowledge management perspective, as well as from a insights and analytics perspective, that's where our customer self-service comes in, where you can assist the customer. You can make these knowledge management articles available through different channels. The channel on the left-hand side, even customer self-service come into play here, where we're looking at, how can we leverage something and make that available to the public so that you free up time for your agents, right? From insights and analytics, the great thing about that is because if you look at how the loop forms, it all is interchangeable. It's all integrated with each other. So I take that insights and analytics and I push that right through to my contact center to make sure it's optimized. I can do things like make sure that I've got enough agents for specific days, right? Holiday seasons, New Year's, also things like, events that happens, and make sure that through that analytics and insights that the messaging that I'm having with my customer is correct. The messaging that my customer gives me, what is their C-stats, right? How happy are they? So I can start building on top of that and optimize my contact center the whole time as I progress. From biometrics and fraud prevention perspective, this is where nuance comes in. So it takes less than 5 seconds to authenticate somebody that phones in through the voice biometric system if you have the voice print. And that will in actual fact open up, that I can understand who I'm talking to. I also understand what their requirement is, their need. And then also lastly, from a nuance perspective, I can then serve them on the right channel with the right agent through that unified routing. From a Power Platform perspective, that's our customer data platform. And then what's nice about that is that you can utilize this data. So I'm serving my customers, but afterwards, what I want to do is I want to make sure that I get that insights from them. I want to make sure that I can send them out a survey, understand how that customer service was. So that 96% that you're not part of, that numbers, right? And then also at the same time, I can start marketing towards them. I can utilize this data for something else, right? So I can look at things like customer journey orchestration. I can look at targeted marketing as well that I can utilize through this customer data platform. From an agent perspective, if we look at some of the features and functions, it's all about productivity. It's all about driving down that cost of running the contact center. It's all about customer self-service in a compliant manner as well, right? So if we look at some of the things like our AI suggestions, what will happen is that AI would look at what is a context that's speaking, what is provided, and then would look at how we can match that onto what's available in the platform. Think about things like next-based action, next-based actions. Think of topics that they can suggest back to the customer. From a real-time sentiment analytics, that's where I can actually see what's happening within this conversation that I'm having with this customer. I can see what is the sentiment. I can see if they're happy. I can see if they're upset. And then I can also see if I need to bring in a call center manager to take over that conversation and assist the customer. From a transcription and translation perspective, this is something that I think the platform does really well in a sense where I can serve the customers in the language that they speak. Right. So if I've got a customer that's in a different language and I'm having a chat conversation, I can in actual fact, translate that conversation over to something that my agent will understand and they can communicate in real-time translation back and forth to the customer. From a macros perspective, that's where that automation comes in, where I can do quick things and make sure that, let's say I need to send out a message with the case number. I can create a macro to do that as I'm busy dealing with the customer on the number on the call or on the chat. I can also send out an email, thanking them for contacting us. All of that type of things you can do with macros. So you can predefine the macros. You can say, per channel, what's available from a macros perspective and what would they be able to utilize. From my agent script perspective, an agent script is essentially making sure that the agent uses the right terminology when they have a conversation with the customer. Things like make sure that they mention, calls are being recorded, maybe that you're a financial services provider. Make sure they greet the agent in a specific manner, as well as just the due diligence on a normal contact center. Speech to text is also another one where we get our customers that phone in through the voice channel, and then that voice is actually translated into text, and that text can be analyzed and then pulled out specific metrics within that. Things like, how many times were a competitor name mentioned? How many times were a customer upset? What is some of the key actions that I can drive out of that conversation? The agent might say, I'll send you an email next week, or I'll schedule a follow-up. And through that text to speech, what will happen is that AI would actually be able to action those items, right? From a smart assist and also Teams collaboration, what we're looking at there is the terminology like we call swarming. So maybe my agent doesn't have the right ability to serve my customer, but I do have team members that would be able to do that. So what I can do is I can create a swarm request and have a subject matter expert assist me in resolving my case, right? So as we can see from a digital contact center perspective, is an open extensible platform with a lot of great capability within the platform itself to assist your customer. If we look at some of the interactions, right, from a AI perspective and biometrics perspective, right, so we make sure that the biometrics and voice biometrics, the voice fingerprint, and then also other factors are also included in the platform. Make sure that there's a secure manner, make sure that we prevent fraud from happening, and then also have different elements in that for prevention aspects, right? So a lot of people will phone on behalf of somebody else or pretend there's somebody else, or try to even get information out of the platform by phoning in and through the likes of Nuance and the Nuance Gatekeeper, that can be prevented. From an AI intent perspective, that's where this customer journeys are also built out. I can have a customer just speak naturally into the IVR, and the IVR will understand, what is the intent of them phoning in. Long gone's the day of press 1 for accounts, press 2 for support, press 3 for sales type scenarios, right? It's a intent prediction that AI can utilize. If you look at the toolbox of the digital contact center, it seems like quite a lot, but I mean, there's a lot of parts in it, right? So if I can look at just a different view of where I've taken you guys through today, I've got my different channels of engagement. I've got also, from a unified routing perspective, that is when a conversation comes in through my different channels or my work streams, how do I move that around to the right agent? And that can be things like, does the agent have the right skills to help this customer? It could be maybe somebody that is phoning in because they wanted to log a fraud claim. So make sure that that person is skilled up in that product set. Make sure that that person has got the right qualifications in order to assist them, right? And if I look at certain things, I'm just going to pull them out. Otherwise, there's quite a lot in here. But if I look at things like, the adaptive business rules engine, we talk about capacity planning with our agent. So that looks at how many interactions they can handle in a certain period of time, right? So I can maybe have one agent that can have 4 web chats, 1 social media chat, and 1 voice chat all at the same time. And you can set those type of things up in the platform itself to make sure that, that business rules engine takes care of it automatically for you, and it adapts based on the load that's been sent to the agents, right? From agent guidance and agent forecasting, as well as AI-based suggestions, when I start looking into these type of subjects, also if I look into customer service insights, from an agent perspective or from an agent manager perspective, right, I can see exactly what's going on within my contact center and where I need to improve and what is also some of the asks that the customers are asking, right? And with this adoption of the contact center, what we've seen is that, certain requests can be maybe moved on to be an automated or even customer self-service request. And what I mean by that is if I look at clustering of topics and I go and I build out a knowledge base on that, and then I move that knowledge base onto the website where a bot sits behind that, it all helps me to go and take the time that my physical agents has to answer those questions and move it to a virtual agent, right? From a dynamics perspective, what we're looking at is there's a product stack, and it's just modules that adds on to each other. So our natural evolution from customer service would be field service. That's our field service agents in the field. So if somebody would maybe log a ticket to say something's broken or it's not working, and then what will happen is the field service agent will take over from there, physically drive out and go fix the item and provide feedback. And the customer can in real time interact with that field service agent to make sure that, they're at home or they're on the premise, or, even take pictures of replacement of products, right? So when we look also from a customer data platform perspective, that's where our customer insights products sit. We take all of the different I can say you take all of the different data sources to make one golden thread or customer 360 view that you can utilize within your platform. So think of it as that you phone into a contact center, you utilize customer insights. You can see, for instance, what's the last 10 transactions that happened within a different platform. You can view demographics of these customers that's phoning in. You can even go as far as doing segmentation on the data so that you've got a specific target group if you want to market to any of them, right? From customer voice perspective, that's where we see things like, after the call fact, I send out a survey and people can rate my service and how I can improve. We utilize other products like Power BI as our UI interface for reporting, where you can slice and dice. Power Apps or extension on this for our low-code, no-code platform. Power Automate as our automation workflow engine and RPA. Power Virtual Agents as our bots and IVR. And also Azure for our scaling of the platform, right? Just a little bit of a different view as well is that when I look at my different channels of engagement, right, I've got my customers who come in on the left. And as you guys see, there's even an IoT device in there. So I can even have devices that will log tickets or cases within the contact center to be resolved. And that's been handed off to our field services solution. But if I look at my omni-channel engagement, so it means that I can serve my customer on any of those different channels that they utilize, right? And we understand the personas of these customers will differ based on, the different channels of engagement. When I type an email, it's a lot different than if I'm on WhatsApp or I'm even on Facebook or even on SMS as an engagement channel, right? And then once again, the self-service column, if we look at that, that's where we make sure that our customers can actually help themselves. And if they can't, it's sent over to an agent, and that agent will handle the case based on, the routing that happens. From a case experience perspective, we look at all the different possibilities that's available, right? So all the tools, make sure that the agent's got the right tools. The agent can assist the customer as soon as possible, utilizing the profile that they have. And then also, how can we enrich the customer's profile as well with maybe asking them, to update their details or whatever the case might be that you can add in there as well. So at the bottom, you'll see that, all of this is underpinned by Azure. So Azure essentially is our scaling engine. It's for things like, our ACS or Azure Communication Services. So it means that this platform is scalable. It can handle the workload. That's quite a question I get a lot. And it's also the same platform that Teams are built on. So if I look at my right-hand side for my data processing and analytics, right? So I've got my workforce management, I've got my work enablement management, I've got Power BI, customer insights, customer voice. But if I take all of those elements together, right, and I start analyzing that data that's being generated by them, I can use that data to once again optimize my contact center to the best of the ability. But also I can utilize that data to make sure that the way that I go about my contact center is correct, right? So if I look at some of the metrics that's available, I can see, well, you know what, I have maybe too many people available in a live chat session, but not enough people on the phone calls. Or I can even go about to say, you know what, there's an SMS or WhatsApp hotline that people can utilize, that a bot can handle that conversations, and that will be open 24/7, rather than have a physical human sitting there, right? So from self-service and automations, the platform provides you with a portal. So we've got what they call Power Pages. And with Power Pages, you make the platform and certain capabilities of the platform available to external users. On this Power Pages, what you would be able to do is you'll be able to add in chat or live chat, and that will come into the omnichannel experience as well. And then you can also even assign a bot to be able to assist those customers and understand the intent, right? From a chatbot perspective, that's where our private virtual agents reside. You've got a canvas where you can go and create these interactive messages. You can also utilize Flow or Workflow Engine to create actions out of those messages. Maybe the customer would like to get an SMS with their specific number, order status, and through the Power Virtual Agents as well as Flow, you'll be able to get that information at the right time, and then send that back to customers. From an IVR perspective, right, we look at how we can serve our customers using IVR as a voice platform, making sure there's different channels are available to them. Also making sure that we understand the intent of what they're phoning for, and then also from an IVR perspective, understand that IVR conversation, what they asked, what was the answer, and how we can improve on that. From a voice channel perspective, right, that's exactly like we were saying, from an intelligence perspective. So we understand the intent of why people are phoning, how can they be assisted. Also, from a bot, the bot is happy to have the initial conversation with you. And then if the bot can't understand, it will hand off to a physical person. If we look at some of the different digital enablement channels, we understand also that our customers, they go on all of those different socials, messaging platforms, and what we do is we enable that and bring that onto one centralized place, right? So you have got one centralized profile of a customer, even though there's multiple channels that they engage with, and we meet our customers where they are at. So what that means is that, if your customer is rather using Facebook Messenger than phoning you, you can serve them on their channels, right? A quick overview of this customer service workspace. I'm actually going to go into a little bit of a demo, and I'll show you guys the product set itself. But this is just some of the capabilities. So on my left-hand side, I've got all my different items that I'm working on. In my center, this is where I have a conversation or the actual interaction with the customer. And what you'll see here is that I've got my different voice controls happening. So what's happening at the moment here, there's a conversation happening. I can see the duration of that. I can see the real-time analytics or sentiment of that conversation that's happening, and then also the transcription that I can utilize. When somebody phones in, I've got this screen real estate where I can utilize different line of business applications. At this moment, what's happening is that I can see, there's a conversational summary of what's happening, as well as, the customer detail itself. When we went and we spoke about all the smart and capabilities within the platform and the AI capabilities within the platform, from a smart assist, it will actually give you back what to recommend to the customer. In this case, it's knowledge-based articles, and it also gives you the confidence of, how confident the platform is that this knowledge-based article would serve your customers. If I look at some of the things like the voice recording capability, right, it gives me some of the aspects. First of all, I can download the audio. I can then also play back the audio and listen to it. It shows me things like the duration of the call, the wait time, and then also why people phone in, what is the work stream that they phoned in, right? At the same time, I can see specific things here, like I can see what's the sentiment analysis on it, and then, who spoke and who kept quiet, etc., etc. From a customer service manager perspective, I can then go and look at the different summaries, right? So I can look at exactly how many cases are coming in, incoming cases, what is it up, is it down, how many active cases there are, how many escalations they were, are my customers happy with me, and also how long does it actually take them to resolve these issues. Here at the bottom, I can see my different channels of engagement. So I know, for instance, where I need to adjust or even spend more time and effort on. And then also, how many cases have been active, resolved, and the priority of them. This topic clustering, what's quite great about it, it will say that, based on specific metrics that I can define in the platform, I can see specific topics, how many times it's been utilized and how many times it came up as a issue. So yeah, I can see, for instance, this is probably an IoT device that went down based on the amount of pressure that was required. That's less than what it should be, right? So great insights that you can have. What you'll see also, I can have a summary. I can look at the different agents and then also on the different topics. I can drill down into that solutions, right? Some of the benefits of the contact center. So first of all, it increases your CSATs and your resolutions. You build trust through biometric authentication and fraud preventions. You improve your agent experience through AI. You create richer engagement with context IQ. You boost automation with IVR as well as customer self-service. You also increase customer acquisition for upsell and cross-sell. The total cost of ownership goes down because everything is a SaaS service. You can build and deploy it with worldwide availability because it's browser-based. People can sit from anywhere. They can support their customers from anywhere. You can have customer service or even call centers deployed right over the world, and what we call is follow the sun methodology. So when certain people go to bed at night, others will become available, and this is all done through the digital contact center. Something else that I wanted to showcase here is that if we look at the different levels of transformation on customer service, and if you look at some of the levels that's available, and maybe to see where you guys are at the moment, and this is available on the Microsoft Dynamics website. I can share the link afterwards. It's a little bit of a quiz that you can do, but it looks at the maturity level of an organization. It looks at, what are you level 1, where you just interact with the customer through a single channel. You make sure that, you can serve them, but there's no really anything exceptional around that, right through to level 4 or level 4 plus, where we start looking into how can we use real-time sentiment and how can we use analytics to coach the to coach the agents. How can we go and drive sentiment and drive conversational AI and make sure things are optimized all the time, and even make sure RPA. So I'm just going to switch gears a little bit. And now what I wanted to showcase to you guys is an actual fact platform. And my channel of choice is WhatsApp. So I'm going to showcase here. So here I'm logged in as Alicia. And this is my customer service workspace. So what I'm going to do now, and This is a live demo, so just bear with me. I've got my mobile phone here and I've got WhatsApp in here. So what I wanted to do is that I wanted just to say hello. And what will happen is that through WhatsApp now as a channel, now I'm having a conversation with Alicia. Soon. There we go. So what will happen here, it will showcase, an incoming conversation happening. The agent can either reject it or accept it. In this case, I'm going to say accept it because I wanted to discuss it. And what will happen is that because I've got this customer's number saved and it shows me what's the different assigned conversations, I can go and open this conversation, and it will start to have that chat and details with this customer. At the moment, it showcases the customer's details, so it knows it's Michael. And you'll see here the sentiment is neutral. There's on a agent capability perspective, right? We've got automated messages, so you can just type /Q, and it will give me predefined messages that you can have. So you can say, for instance, hello, and you see here's placeholders. Say, how may I help you? And that will be replaced with that specific person. And I just received the message here in WhatsApp, so I can say I would like to log an issue. And what will happen is now just send that message. And as you guys can see, it's real time, right? So what an agent can do here, it can actually look at the cases that's been, recently logged. So here I can see the card has not been received. I can see some of the details here, but at the same time is I can go and answer here. So sure, how can I help you? Okay, I haven't seen my card yet. So I just want to go back here. So also what we're seeing here, just to maybe take you guys through of the platform itself, right? As an agent, I'm busy having a conversation here. I just want to go back and I can see here in my dashboard some of the cases that this agent is working on that they can pull up and they can work with, as well as some of the ongoing conversational dashboards that's happening, as well as on the different queues as well. So yeah, I can see, what's happening as a live chat happening. There's also a chat queue. And I can also do specific things. I can select that, I can assign it to people, I can transfer it, I can even monitor it. What I can also do is I can look at some of the analytics that's available for this agent in the platform itself, and that will give me the ability, I don't have access to it, but that will give me the ability to look at specific metrics, right? If I go back into my inbox, also some of the other channels that was what we're looking at here is in actual fact email. So we've got what they call a email inbox as well. So what I can do is I can just select that email, and then I can also go and action this email as one of my additional channels, right? If I want to go back into the conversation I just had, let me just go back into here. If I can assign that to me, and you'll see here it shows me the capacity that's available that you can set up. Okay, so I don't know exactly why that assignment. Oh, because it's already assigned to me, right? So let me just maybe open that again. Right. Another capability that we do have is that there's a dialer within the platform itself. So I'm just going to leave that message for now, but I can literally go and dial out numbers, receive numbers, and I can also assign a profile with that dialer as well. So I can say, you know, what my call center agents should only be able to receive calls. They should not be able to make calls, or they should only be able to make calls and not receive calls. Those type of scenarios should be able to, you know, handle as well. So you can have for each and every agent, you can have different profiles available, and also per work stream, right? So what we do understand is from a work stream perspective, this agent can go and, you know, have different views on it, right? So at this moment, you're looking at the different presence that's available. At the same time, this agent can now go and create a chat with somebody inside an organization if she doesn't understand exactly what's going on. Invite people that's maybe not part of this case that was logged, but also be able to assist in that manner. Okay, so let me just quickly go back. Seem to have lost my conversation here. Guys, so what you'll see here is that it shows me the case that was logged, right, on the card that's not been received, the customer, the priority, the products, you know, and then also some of the information that the customer provided, right? In my timeline view here, what I can see is also some of the chats that happened through the different channels. I can go in there, can see when that happened, you know, and then also I can go and action those items. So the platform itself is fully integrated with the likes of your Microsoft 365. So I can go and I can, in actual fact, go and create an email, a task, a phone call, even set up an appointment with this customer. And all of that's happening in a single pane of view that we're looking at the moment. And with that, I'm just going to stop here and maybe see if there's any questions or how can I assist further. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Monet, for the section. I think right now we would like to take questions from the audience. If you have your questions, any question, you can use the reaction button and raise your hand, or you can even unmute and ask your question.
Okay, so I have some questions in the chat area. This one says, how do you evaluate digital customer experience? How do you evaluate the digital customer experience? Monet, do you want to take that?
Sure, I can. I just wanted to repeat what I heard. How do you evaluate digital customer experience?
Yes, how do you evaluate digital customer experience?
So I think that, you know, if you want to evaluate how your customer experience was, right, you can definitely utilize the platform for surveys, which you can send out, post interaction with customers, get their feedback, and then take that feedback and integrate that within the platform itself, right? So you can utilize things like your CSAT, you can look at sentiment analysis, and then also you can look at your different channel of engagements, right? So I can even go as far as analyzing the call and see the overall statistics of a customer based on a specific period of time.
Thank you very much. So, Edidion, does that provide answer to your questions? Is that clear enough? Okay, I'll just move to the next question. Speaking of syncing omni-channels, you also mentioned other social media platforms. Does this platform allow for integration of social media platforms and CRMs so as to have data such as customer info all in one place and monitor customer journey in one place? That's a question from Obianuju.
Yes, I can take that as well. So from a digital platform perspective, definitely. So we provide the capability as an open, extensible platform of connectors into social media, the big social, well-known social media platforms. or channels, and then at the same time, we enable in that view that you just saw you to embed even at other applications, right? Dynamics itself comes with an API, so you can integrate into other platforms as well to bring in data that enriches that customer experience and customer profile.
Fantastic response. Obianuju, does this provide clarity or do you want to expand on this? We have 5 minutes to wrap up, guys. So just spare us.
Okay, that works. Thank you for the insight.
Fantastic, thank you. I think we'll just take one more. What is the difference between digital experience and customer experience? And okay, let me just add this to it. How does the service module work in Dynamics 365 CRM?
Sure. Okay. So I think that, we're talking about two things, right? So one is your digital experience, another one is your customer experience. But at the end of the day, imagine it as a single experience that you have as a customer, right? So I guess the customer experience and digital experience is just a type of customer experience, right? Because I can still go into a building, into a branch, into an office, and also experience customer experience, right? I can go and have a kiosk with things like customer self-service, right? That will provide me some of the experiences. Some digital experiences would be me providing input into maybe a portal. It could be things like, chatting to a bot or a physical agent as well, right? So it's an experience that you will leverage, right? Just to maybe wrap up as well, from a module perspective within Dynamics CRM, the service capability within it is essentially a big platform that we see our customers utilize for things like SLA management, case management, customer interaction management, different ways of interacting with your customer, right? And the omni-channel that we're looking at now just enables that on a broader scale, right? So you can still utilize customer service as a standalone module within Dynamics, and later you just have the omni-channel experience embedded within that, right? So think of it in a traditional customer service perspective, where you maybe have email as a channel or email queue where people send a mail, and you've got people processing that email queue. That's traditional customer service, and there's an SLA on top of that, and there's different customer entitlements linked to that. Where with your omni-channel, you'll be able to serve those customers with those SLAs and entitlements, but just on multiple different channels, and enable agents to provide better interaction with them.
Okay, so to add to what Monet mentioned, actually on the difference between the digital experience and the customer experience. Digital experience speaks more to the digital channels that we are, leveraging to drive digital experience. So on the digital experience part of things, that's where you have your WhatsApp, that's where you have your Facebook Messenger, that's where you have your Teams, that's where you have the other digital channels that we leverage on to ensure that we give these customers a good customer experience. So digital experience works hand in hand with customer experience. I think that's just to add to what Monet just mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, you guys. I think we have one more question in the chat and we'll call it a wrap. Mr. Onyema, you can wrap up after this question. It says, this is from Rosemary. The solution is case management functionality. How do we have to procure the Dynamics 365 Dynamics CRM as well to have the best case management? Do we have to procure the Dynamics CRM as well to have the best case management? Monet, do you want to take that?
Sure, I can. So when we look at Dynamics, right? Dynamics is the product name. Dynamics case management is the capability of the product, right? So in order to provide the the omni-channel experience to your customers, you do require case management because everything is built on top of that case management.
And also, okay, if I should also add to what you said, do I need to procure? So basically, I think you need to understand that for the Dynamics customer service, which is or the omni-channel, which is where the case management capability or the model where we can find that, we need also to procure the license. So if you have the Dynamics 365 customer engagement license, or that's the customer service, the sales or the marketing license, then you can have access to some of this capability during implementation. So while it's been implemented, the case management functionality or capability is being enabled also as part of what you have access to, within your environment. I don't know if that answers your question, Rosemary.
Sorry, maybe I'll just speak. Hello, everybody. I'm not exactly clear with your response. I was going to ask, this digital contact center solution, if I buy it as a one-off, does it solve all my case management problems, or do I have to procure the dynamic CRM as well?
When you want to take it, or should I go ahead?
Sure. No, I can. We
Go
can
ahead.
both.
Go ahead.
We can both. Yeah. So essentially, how it works is that you procure Dynamics, right? So you procure Dynamics case management, and then on top of it is the omni-channel side of it. So you would require Dynamics CRM for case management, and then you enable the Dynamics omni-channel for it.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Rosemary, also, just to add to what he said, we can actually look at having a one-on-one section with you if you so wish, where we could also have a much more deep dive on the case management functionality or capability of the Dynamics 365, which is also where we have the digital contact center, riding on. So we can have that section. We can get in touch with you and have that section with you if you don't mind.
All right, that's fine. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So, Nancy, is that all?
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank everyone. Okay, I think there is one more question. There's one more question in the chat area. Can SMEs use this product, or is it specific to enterprise customers? Did you hear me?
Money? Okay.
Sure. Look, I mean, the product is available for everybody, right? So, we see customers utilizing it regardless of the size of the organization, right? It's more if it's the best fit for you, right? So I think from a capability and a feature perspective, right, there's a lot of capability and features that we get within enterprise that not necessarily within SMEs. But we do also understand that SMEs organizations can be complex. They do serve maybe a large volume of customers. We even have non-profit organizations that's utilizing these type of technologies, education, all of those. So the size of your organization doesn't matter.
Does that answer your question, Mr. Tripodi? Okay, Nancy, you can go ahead so that we can wrap up, please, if there is nothing else.
All right, I'd like to thank you all so much. Thank you for participating. We have dropped a poll in the chat area and would like to get your views on what you thought about the webinar, the delivery, the content, and our awesome presenters. Do let us know what you think. So I think moving forward, we'll just have to take other questions behind the scene as we are far, far gone on time. Thank you so much, Monet, for sharing this insight with us today. We really appreciate you coming in to do this with us. And thank you, Mr. Onyema, for putting this together and making this happen. I'd leave the mic to you, Mr. Onyema, to drop any final words and then we can wrap up. Thank you so much for this session. We appreciate everyone for joining and we'll see you on the next one. Mr. Onyema, your final words.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Nancy. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending this webinar. It was nice having every one of you. Thanks for the questions. I know that more questions will still come up. We'll still be responding to your questions as you drop them on the chat box. And I will not mind having a one-on-one engagement, one-to-one engagement with you for people who are interested in getting a much more deep dive conversation around this technology. We don't mind having that section with you, at least where we can take time to have the demo section to show you the various capabilities that the solution has to bring. I think with that, we'll be expecting to hear from you. I know the marketing team is going to drop an email here for those who would like us to come and engage with them. You can send us emails so that we can get in touch with you personally and one-on-one. Thank you very much once again for coming. Mr. Isaiah will respond to your question later on the chat box there. Thank you also once again for coming. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Keep well.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Bye, guys. Bye, Monet. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.